I have a question because and I don't even know if this is actually a clinical term. I was just like reading and like listening to things. And I was reading about conditioned compliance, which, like I said, I don't know if that's a real thing, but it was talking about how when children are young, like I know for me, I heard growing up, and I know I've definitely said this to my nieces and nephews like once or twice when I was like watching them when we were growing up, that parents will say, do what I do, or do what I say, not what I do. So just that important part of like being obedient as a child. Mm-hmm. But the person who I was listening to was talking about how when you constantly tell children that they have to do something or be something or say something, you're teaching them conditioned compliance. And then when they grow up, they don't know that they can say no to things or that they can stand up for themselves. So I just want to know if you can speak to that, and is that even a real term?
I'm sure it's a real term in the behavioral world for sure.
Okay.
And I think absolutely it exists. And so when I think about a very easy example to think about is when we're children and our parents force us to hug or kiss our elders, right? We like, yes. go give Grammy a kiss before you leave. And it's like, and then if the kid's like, there are definitely kids who are like, I don't want that. Or the aunt who squeezes your cheeks, right? Whatever that looks like. And what we're teaching the kiddo there is that their feelings about it don't matter. That their instincts about what is good and what is not good for them don't matter.
Yeah.
An example that I use often with clients around, a mentor of mine taught me this, one of my supervisors, because I was like, oh, I'm totally stealing this because it works so well. Clients like understand it immediately, is like, and I don't like to think about the dichotomy of things in terms of like positioning good and bad. So I'm just putting that out there. I'm using this language simply for illustrative purposes. So I don't think this way, but when I put a but out there. So when we think about like, if a kiddo has dropped like they're eating an ice cream cone and they're like, oh my gosh, they're enjoying their ice cream cone. And then suddenly the ice cream cone drops on the floor, like outside, they're getting ice cream on a nice summer day.
Right.
And when we think about like, what does an unsympathetic or a bad, in quotes here, parent, what would like a bad parent say? Like, what would a bad parent say to that? What would you say bad parents would do?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Like, what would like a bad parent do?
What would a bad parent say? I don't know. I get maybe they might just get mad that the kid dropped it. I don't know what they would say. Right? They might get upset that they just dropped it.
Right. They might they might be mad, like, oh, you wasted that ice cream cone, or you cost me money, or
right.
You might call them names, like that's really awful, right? Like,
right.
It might be like, stop crying if they're crying, right? So like we can get our arms around what an unsympathetic parent might do. But when we think about like, well, what would a quote unquote good parent do? What are some things that we might do there, do you think?
I think they would just say, it's okay. It happens. Don't worry. Like, it's not the end of the world. Well, we can get another ice cream cone. Like,
totally.
We're exactly. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Like, it's okay. It's no biggie. But both of those, I create the kid not being validated for what's happening in the moment.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yes. That is a great point.
So I think that when I think about conditioned compliance, that is like a more complex version of what that can look like.
Right.
In terms of like what the kid needs in that moment is, oh, it's so upsetting. I know you're so upset about that ice cream cone, right? That's a bummer.
Yeah.
But that's, as parents, as human beings, we want to comfort, which there is a way we can do both, of course.
Okay.
But when you say condition compliance, that's one of those things that like we do it without even knowing we're doing it.
Without even knowing it, yes.